Did a lot of drill work on the side, both before and after practice, and then they get some scout team reps so they can get some balls airborne and make sure that they're staying in sync, of course, because really Dylan being 1 play away and Shedeur being 2 plays away. That is so true what you said. Neither of these guys have ever not been the guy. And that happens a lot with guys who enter the NFL. They've been the starters their whole lives. And so there's a transition there. And for the first week, they did a nice job. They immersed themselves, both of them, in the game plan. Did a lot of drill work on the side, both before and after practice.
In a move to silence the deafening chatter, Browns quarterback coach Bill Musgrave has just stepped forward to confront the storm of negative buzz surrounding Shedeur Sanders and put a definitive end to all the rumors. He declared unequivocally that Shedeur Sanders is absolutely going to get his shot and that there is no question about it whatsoever. Musgrave then pulled back the curtain on their current process, revealing that Shedeur Sanders and Dylan Gabriel are actively training together and that both young quarterbacks are just a few crucial snaps away from potentially being called up to the first team. This public declaration is Musgrave's direct and calculated move to completely shut down the negative propaganda that has been circulating about both Sanders and the Browns organization. The message could not be clearer. Any doubts are now being put to rest. Shedeur Sanders' time is coming, and he is being prepared to prove himself.
There's ways that we are trying to be creative, and it happens with each quarterback room in the whole league at all levels of football. You're just the guys that have to be ready to play, but also they're young, and so you want them to develop and keep working on their craft at the same time.
Bill Musgrave also emphasized that their coaching extends to every conceivable level, as they are meticulously preparing Shedeur Sanders for the crucible of upcoming matches. While he may not be physically on the field right now, Musgrave made it absolutely clear that they are leaving no stone unturned in getting him ready for the very moment his number is called. They are ensuring that when that time inevitably comes, Shedeur will be fully and completely prepared to step up and perform at his absolute best. This exhaustive preparation is all part of a bigger, more strategic plan, and it aligns perfectly with the immense pressure building from the top, as owner Jimmy Haslam is also reportedly pushing management to play Shedeur Sanders. According to Colin Cowherd, it is only a matter of time before the Cleveland Browns reach an unavoidable breaking point. If the losses begin to pile up, the pressure on Kevin Stefanski and his entire staff will become so immense as to be unbearable, leaving them with absolutely no choice but to make the switch. That is the precise moment when Shedeur is expected to take over, unleashing the jolt of energy and the raw spark the team has been so desperately missing. And if he delivers even in tantalizing flashes, the fan base will erupt, clamoring for him to be named the permanent starter, with his name completely dominating the headlines week after week.
I tend to think by Thanksgiving he'll just potentially be the best quarterback they have, and the fans will be clamoring for him because it's not a very good team and they'll be losing games.
But Colin Cowherd was far from finished. He added that the Browns' ownership is now fully behind Shedeur, pushing aggressively to see him on the field because they view him as the undisputed future face of the entire franchise. And yet, herein lies the critical catch. The team's management is reportedly not ready to hand him the keys just yet. Instead, the front office and the coaching staff are said to be desperately trying to buy more time, looking for any conceivable way to hold him back just a little longer.
Shedeur's not ready. Shedeur's not ready. My guess is they go 0-4, maybe they go 1-3. Haslam's going to come down on Sunday, October 5th, and he says, I want Shedeur to play against Minnesota.
Jimmy Haslam intimately understands that he cannot afford to lose Shedeur because this is the singular player who possesses the unique star power to put the Cleveland Browns back at the center of the NFL's universe. That is precisely why Haslam and the front office are now standing so firm on this issue. They are not going to let him slip away. Rumors are already swirling that several rival teams would love to get their hands on Shedeur, but Haslam at this point completely refuses to even entertain the idea. Still, the immense pressure surrounding this entire situation just keeps on building, and the longer Shedeur remains sidelined, the louder and more intense those conversations are inevitably going to get.
Yeah. Good to see you. Oh, we got well, we got to do some praising. Oh, Dion, she's mine. Hey, Dion.
On the flip side of these declarations, however, Rizzo recently dropped the explosive report that Shedeur Sanders isn't even participating with the scout teams during the team's training sessions. In a revealing twist, even Bailey Zappi, a recent emergency signing, is getting reps with the scout team, but Sanders pointedly is not involved. This stunning development has naturally sparked intense speculation. Is there a significant, perhaps irreparable, rift between Sanders and the management, or is a blockbuster trade actively being orchestrated behind the scenes? Whatever the case may be, rival teams are now certainly paying extremely close attention to this entire situation. If the opportunity to acquire him finally arises, they will not hesitate for a second to make an aggressive move for Sanders. Right now, though, we're all stuck in a high-stakes waiting game, with teams across the league watching intently for any developments that could signal a definitive shift in his status. It is a volatile situation that has undeniably put everyone on edge.
I'm hearing Shedeur is not even running scout team. He's literally watching everyone play. Bailey Zappi's running scout team. I don't know if that's true. That's what I'm hearing. Why is he on the team? Why is he even here? If that's what you think about, because his jersey is selling, the Haslems don't need jersey money, do they?
Adding another layer of intrigue, there are now significant reports that powerhouse teams like the San Francisco 49ers and the Miami Dolphins are keeping a very close eye on Shedeur Sanders' evolving situation in Cleveland. According to the credible sports outlet TalkSports, Sanders has now landed squarely on the radar of the 49ers, a development that has gained serious momentum, especially after their starting quarterback, Brock Purdy, suffered a recent injury. As a result, 49ers fans are now actively and loudly urging their team to make a definitive move and sign the rising star, desperately hoping Shedeur Sanders could be the ultimate solution to their current quarterback dilemma.
TalkSports tweeted out 49ers fans make stunning Shedeur Sanders trade demand after major Brock Purdy setback. TalkSports is a very credible source. They have 2.4 million followers. This tweet right here had 28,000 views.
But the swirling trade rumors surrounding Shedeur Sanders certainly do not stop there. There is also a significant and growing wave of speculation about a potential blockbuster trade that would involve Tua Tagovailoa of the Miami Dolphins. After a particularly rough and inconsistent start to the season, with Tua visibly struggling under pressure and fumbling the ball at critical moments, a palpable frustration is now building among the Dolphins fan base. The subsequent demand for a major change is becoming increasingly more difficult for the organization to ignore, and you can be sure that rival teams around the league are keeping a very close watch on this entire situation.
Dolphin fans are ready for a change under center after a dreadful start. They want Shedeur Sanders traded to the Dolphins. Should Miami make a new move, Ocho?
It's only week 1, huh?
This already volatile situation is now further complicated by an explosive report from Rizzo, indicating that Shedeur Sanders isn't even getting reps with the scout team, while other quarterbacks, including the recently signed Bailey Zappi, are. This baffling decision has inevitably led many to question whether there's a deeper, perhaps irreparable, rift between Sanders and the management, or if a blockbuster trade is actively in the works. This apparent internal dysfunction has caught the keen attention of teams like the San Francisco 49ers and the Miami Dolphins, who are reportedly eyeing Sanders as the potential solution to their own quarterback issues. The 49ers, in particular, are deeply concerned after Brock Purdy's injury, and Dolphins fans are growing audibly frustrated with Tua Tagovailoa's inconsistent performances. Both teams are now closely monitoring the situation, eager to pounce the second the opportunity arises. Ultimately, the entire league is now trapped in a high-stakes waiting game. While Shedeur's future remains shrouded in uncertainty, the pressure on both him and the teams involved is undeniably growing, with Bill Musgrave's unwavering public support serving as a perplexing wildcard in this entire drama. This leaves us with a series of critical questions, and we'd love to hear your thoughts. Is Bill Musgrave's support for Shedeur Sanders a genuine sign that he's going to get his chance to play, or could this just be a calculated strategy to keep the pressure off and control the narrative? Do you believe there's a deeper issue between Sanders and the management, especially given the damning reports about him not getting reps with the scout team? And what about the growing interest from teams like the 49ers and Dolphins? Should they make a definitive move for Sanders, or are there other quarterbacks who could step up for those teams? What do you think Shedeur's future holds, and how do you see this entire chaotic situation finally playing out?